Hello everyone, did you know you can perform a Morph Sweep after a FRS and get back to sword mode? If Power X mode is active, you refill enough to get there from 0 gauge. It deals a bit more damage, is basically exactly as fast as the regular Spiral Burst chain, but from here you can chain directly into your Rising Slashes, skipping the less powerful Sword Overhead Slash. It is more committing though, so be sure you have the time to pull it off. But in case you can't build enough gauge, because the monster moves around or attacks you, you can hop out of the Morph Sweep, because it would now turn into the reload, and well, you're actually dodging out of the reload and not the Morph Sweep, but this still takes a bit of the risk when trying this method. The tips in this video are very advanced and niche, I guess, but I've already made an entire playlist for learning about switch X in Wilds, which you should definitely check out if you haven't already. Next tip, right after a Spiral Burst Slash, you chain into the Morph Rising Double Slash, if you want to go into sword mode. You can see in the clip that there is a huge time frame in which you chain into said double slash, but if you have focus mode active, you recover much faster and you can chain into the regular morph slash. The better you time it, the better it looks. As you can see, it can look a bit whack at times, but with some practice you can make it look really clean, and the advantages are of course that it is faster than the rising double slash, but you have way more forward momentum, which is arguably a lot more important. Also, you can go right into the more powerful rising slashes again and skip the overhead slash. You can enter sword mode below the morphing threshold, but only with a focus strike. The focus strike can finish in the quick element discharge, and from here you can chain directly into FRS, but since Title Update 4 you can hop out of the FRS charging animation and you can use this to stay in sword mode. If your switch gauge is empty though, you will be forced into X mode after hopping out of the FRS, so use it carefully. Staying with Focus Strike, the sword mode Focus Strike is the most damage you can dish out while having exactly 0 gauge left. With the last bit of gauge left, you can strike the wound and you can do the entire sword mode Focus Strike, including the quick finishing discharge and chaining into the FRS directly after, given that you have an opening. If the monster is toppled, there is no wound and you have almost no gauge left, you can still start up an elemental discharge and pull through. Once again letting you chain into FRS as well, all with basically 0 gauge. This only works if you are already in sword mode though. Spiral Burst Slash can sometimes put you in harm's way, but you really want to build that last bit of switch gauge to re-enter sword mode. Once again, if power mode is active, you only need to connect 3 X attacks, almost any chain will do, for example forward slash, forward overhead slash and sideways slash, or what I tend to use if I don't have enough time for Spiral Burst is the forward slash, sideways slash and fade slash, moving in and out very quickly, giving you just enough to get back into sword mode. And that is it already for the final Switch X Academy video I wanted to do before Ascendance drops. As I said, they are niche and pretty advanced tips, but I really wanted to make a video about them because I wanted to cover as much as possible about Switch X. But if you want even more tips, MH Dre just released a video about Switch X tips as well, with even more advanced techniques, so be sure to check that one out as well. Once Ascendance drops, I will update the full guide and probably some of the other episodes, depending on how much changes with the expansion. Thank you very much for watching, thanks to all my supportive hunters, and I hope to see you on future videos and streams. And yes, I still plan on streaming Sunbreak to go for Master Rank 999, and I have done 1 or 2 test hunts after over a year, and yeah, I'm gonna need some practice, which I'm gonna do on stream soon, hopefully. Happy hunting everyone.